They're big and strong, but she walks into the middle of the room and faces them without fear. "Get out," she sneers, folding her arms. "How dare ye come into my home? Do you know who I am?" The three predators enter the room, their eyes animated due to what is about to transpire. "We know who you are, you whore," says one of the men in a thick Irish accent. "That's why we're here." Punky creeps forward on his hands and knees. He knows he promised his ma he would stay put, but he wants to know what's going on. The slatted wardrobe doors allow him to see three men standing in front of his ma. Their balaclavas hide their faces. Their long sleeves and trousers cover their body. When one of them reaches out and slaps his ma's cheek, Punky cups his mouth to mute his screams. He promised his ma he would be quiet, quieter than a mouse. "How about a dance, Cara?" one of the men say, walking over to the radio to turn up the song. "Come here to me." He grabs Cara, forcing her to dance with him, but she fights him, her small fists pummeling against his broad chest. The two other men laugh, relishing in Cara's fight, because they know there is only one outcome for her. She chose her fate when she decided to take on the Kelly name. In this war, you're either a Kelly or you're a Doyle. And sadly for Cara, she chose the wrong side. And now, her death will be a warning for all future Kellys. Cara continues to fight. She won't surrender with ease. Her dancing partner doesn't appreciate her insolence, so to subdue her, he punches her in the face. Blood pours from Cara's broken nose, staining the white carpet red. The bloodshed rouses the bloodlust. "My turn," one of the men says, dragging a screaming Cara into his arms. Punky knows he made a promise, but he can't watch his ma being treated this way. He lunges for the handle, but it doesn't budge because the door is locked. "Ma!" he screams, banging on the door until his fists begin to ache, but his cries are muted by Frank Sinatra playing loudly over the radio. "Mummy, open the door." The men take it in turns, passing Cara between them, her limp body nothing but a rag doll as her spirit begins to wither and die. Punky can't see straight as his vision is blurred with tears, and when Elvis Presley's "It's Now or Never" comes on the radio, Punky does what his ma asked. He becomes someone else. He pretends to be anywhere but here. With trembling hands, he reaches for the white face paint and unscrews the lid. His mother's pained shrieks have him dipping his fingers into the paint and circling his cheeks and forehead to coat his skin white. When one of the men produces a hunting knife, intent on silencing Cara's screams for good, Punky then swaps the white paint for the black. As his mother's mouth gets slit from ear to ear, Punky repeats the same action with his black face paint, which is shaped as a crayon. He runs the tip from the apple of his cheek to his mouth, where he draws lines across his lips, wishing to silence his screams, then repeats the action on the other side of his cheek. He now wears a grin as big as his ma's. With precise strokes, he draws slashes downward along the line he just drew, emphasizing his grin as something sinister, something grotesque. When one of the men bites down on Cara's nose and her ear, Punky draws a messy black dot on his own nose, and with the black dye he squirts into his hand, he uses his fingers to flick paint onto his ear and down his neck, so it resembles the blood splatter his ma wears. Cara drops onto her stomach when the men let her go, but they're not done. Not yet. They lift her dress and tear off her knickers. "Whatever you see, whatever you hear, I want you to know it's not real, because you're not really here." Cara's words play over and over in Punky's head as he watches the men take turns mounting his ma, riding her like Punky saw the stray neighborhood dog do to his border collie before his dad shot it dead. As the men holler, biting and fondling a near unconscious Cara, Punky paints black around his eyes, not wanting to bear witness to his ma being defiled over and over again. Once they're done taking it in turns, the area around Punky's eyes is coated in thick black paint. But he can still see. One of the men lifts her limp head by her snarled hair and bangs her head onto the carpet. A jagged gash forms on the left side of her forehead, so Punky draws a small line to replicate his ma's wounds. The men laugh, cheering and high-fiving one another, proud of their efforts. Punky hopes it's over, but it's not. One of the men, the man who danced with her first, stands over Cara's broken body and seems to examine the mess he's made. "I never wanted this for you, Cara, but you didn't listen." Punky doesn't know what that means, but he knows his mother did something bad. The man bends down and lifts Cara's head back by her hair, exposing her neck. Cara moans, her face barely recognizable. Her bloodshot eyes focus on the wardrobe door where she knows